Hello everybody, I'm back, Headblade here, and if you're wondering what happened with my other channel, I got asked that a lot recently, and basically what happened is that YouTube demonetized my account for some reason, racism. Yeah, literal racism somehow. Even though I'm funny enough, I am not racist. I have never said anything racist on YouTube. And then I figured out that apparently somebody claimed I was racist. Someone reported me randomly, and now I'm banned from my other account. So I moved on to this one, Cadblade 2.0, as you might call it. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end up doing way more content that involves Minecraft. And soon I actually will be getting a way better computer, making it so that way I can do way better videos. I just want to get that out of the way first, but let's move on to some story time. So, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you about the time I got really pissed off over the time that my school found out about my YouTube channel. Let me tell you on actually how this turned out, and it's actually really fun. It's actually a really funny story if you will. Basically, what ended up happening is that we had this massive test or presentation that we were supposed to be doing about how much internet has affected our daily lives and how much has been happening. So I get grew up with these pair of kids I never really liked in general at my school, and they told me to go ahead and hang out with them. We studied after school, we did a bunch of stuff to make sure we knew everything, and I wasn't really happy with this whole idea of having to have a group just to do a presentation, because I thought that was kind of lame. What if I wanted to do something a little bit different? But sadly, according to my social studies teacher, I had to do that, or it'd not be really well. So I decided I was going to continue doing a lot of stuff here, and so I kept following with the teacher's advice and started doing everything I really needed to do in the first place. And so we started testing a lot. We see all of my other classmates that I was teaming up with decided to use everything I was planning to say. And that made me a little irritated. So I had to do something a little bit different. So I thought, I'm going to do something hopefully nobody actually does this. And the same thing actually happened to Technoblade too. I decided to do something about Arnold Roosevelt, or however you say his first name. It was a full-on thing I was actually going to plan to do in the first place, and it was going to be good. It was going to be chill, it was going to be an ordinary day, and I was going to finally take my time off and relax after like years. So what I ended up doing is on my slide for the slideshow on Google Slides, died to an arrow. On Google Slides, I said I was going to follow this whole thing, and I put down the Teddy Roosevelt quote. I forgot specifically what it was because this was like a really long time ago. So it was still pretty well made, and I was really happy about it. I thought, I was just praying that soon when the presentation did happen, nobody actually did the same thing as me. Because if somebody did the same thing as me, then it just seemed like I copied them. And that would not be really good. I wanted to sound original and whatnot, so yep. Oh, knocked him back onto the bridge. Come in. But yeah, so the presentation went on afterwards, and we were doing pretty well, everyone, and I was like looking at everyone, hopefully praying that nobody would actually use that entire quote I had in mind. It was going extremely well, and I was actually doing good. But then sadly, disaster struck. We were the last people to do the presentation, which meant that we had to pray, I had to pray to be exact, then nobody would actually decide to use my quote idea. And sadly, my social studies teacher decided to say it. We'll get to that later. What ended up happening is that when we were going ahead waiting perfectly fine for this all to wash over, and it was all going to be completely fine right afterwards, and I was going to be happy, I was going to enjoy my life, and I was going to exist right afterwards, you know, having a good life. But then, sadly, disaster has struck. 2 people are left, and we were the 3rd. I had to constantly pray to God that hopefully, just in case, that they wouldn't actually notice. Or nobody would actually end up saying Teddy Roosevelt. And sadly somebody did. But it was a completely different quote about it. And I was so happy at the moment because I really got incredibly scared over it. My mouse just glitches. Clickbait. Damn. Anyway. So, it started getting really bad, and I was getting really irritated at the time because I thought, what would happen? Why would this happen to me? So then it finally got to our turn, but then sadly, my social studies teacher decided to repeat the entire presentation for the people that were taking notes, and he said the full Teddy Roosevelt quote that I was going to use. So I was incredibly irritated because I was going to say an original, but no, he decided to use it. I had like the biggest frown on my entire face known to man. So I was kind of just sitting there, upset out of my mind, thinking, why did he do this to me? Why would you do this to me, Goldsmith? So we continued on the presentation, and I was still really mad about it because I thought, why would he do this to me? Why? Horrible idea. Why would you do this to me?
What you doing?
We're filming another video.
Alright.
But yeah, I was still pretty upset about the whole situation. I didn't know what to think about it. So then I decided to say, screw it. Let's just move on. So I moved on with the presentation, and it was completely fine. Life was good. I was enjoying everything. I was happy. I was enjoying my life as it was until I remembered that was just a testing of it all. We had another presentation, and I had to find another quote, and all of it, and every single one of them had to include a quote that wasn't already used in the recent presentation. So you already know that I was struggling really bad when it came to this, because I was thinking, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't do anything, because if I do anything, I'm baked. I'm not gonna win. And then an idea struck. I decided to use a Steve Jobs quote. And since barely anyone in my school really knows who Steve Jobs is, it was, the perfect idea I've ever had. So I decided to use the idea. The presentation came, and I finally did it. The full Steve Jobs account. The whole quote. But then I thought, what if I just throw something in there? So I mentioned my channel. And about how this guy, saying that I have no clue who this guy is, but he has some really funny little bit of jokes, and it shows how much the internet has changed his life since it first started. People got curious, and the teacher sadly said the words, okay, let's watch a video from this guy. Uh-oh. And disaster struck, because that's when they heard my voice. For some reason, no one really noticed it was me, except for 1 or 2 people in the classroom. That was one, the teacher and the janitor walking by. I was listening inside the presentation. Which was really insane at the moment. That I never really expected that to happen. Now, did I? But luckily, I did get a few laughs in there from other people from my editing skills or the jokes I make. So luckily, that was good. Some people laughed at my jokes, so I knew I had some type of a following. So I was really upset at the moment because I thought people probably would catch on. For some reason, only 3 people did. Because I guess people really don't recognize my voice one bit now, do they? But yeah, sure, I made a few people laugh. I made some people get really mad because of the one time I said I'm gonna kill this little orphan in Sky Wars one time, and they found that really offensive. which I don't blame him for. I would find that really offensive too if somebody said I hate this orphan. Who wouldn't? Even though that's kind of my entire humor is that I hate orphans, and I hate the government. That's just something about me now, is it? But long story short, people in my school figured out soon enough about my YouTube channel, and it kind of just, it wasn't really that bad at first. And then people started following on, catching on, noticing it was most likely me that made that channel. And so like life really decided to hit me with the full give up face. So like everything is not really good. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for this video, and make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, Cadblade, since my other one got permanently deleted because YouTube can't handle 1 or 2 swears in a video. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.